This is how it's done. The tables are being turned on Donald Trump. He's getting a taste of his own medicine shoved into his pathetic face. He's getting bullied and shamed and ridiculed and humiliated in public. He's being exposed for how utterly weak and pathetic and soft and disgusting that he truly is. California Governor Gavin Newsom is leading the way, and he is not holding back. He refers to Donald Trump as dementia. Don, he says, when are you going to take more dementia tests? He calls Donald Trump Little D. And that's just the start of it. Take a look at what California Governor Gavin Newsom does as he's unleashed a tsunami of posts mocking Donald Trump for the whole world to see. He posted this image of Donald Trump where he writes, "Dementia Don." It's Donald Trump passed out in the Oval Office with Kash Patel passed out. You have Stephen Miller in the background, and you have Rubio looking to, I guess, give Donald Trump his medication. I think Donald Trump is taking a dementia test, and Governor Newsom writes, "Dementia Don." Then Governor Newsom posts a photo of Donald Trump's rotted and corrosive hand. I mean, this deserves a lot more attention. Donald Trump is just plastering all of this makeup over his hand because both his right and left hand are rotting. His neck is rotting. He can't walk in straight lines anymore. He can barely complete sentences. He finds it fascinating that on the one hand, there's the word see, like you look, and then there's the sea, like water. And he's like, whoa, what a concept. And California Governor Gavin Newsom is showing photos of Donald Trump's rotting hands and then pointing out, seriously, the president of the United States is bragging that he knows the difference between looking and seeing versus the water that is a sea. Like, what are we talking about here? And he refers to Donald Trump as a little D. And I think there's a play on words there as well. And I think Stormy Daniels pointed that out before. Here's what Newsom writes. Little D's brain is declining rapidly in real time. Today he was confused by the difference between C and C. Very sad. His handlers are terrified and desperately trying to hide it from the public. The American people deserve the truth. That is why I hereby challenge Grandpa to a live cognitive test on national television. Fox News can host Sean Slumpy Ratings Hannity would be perfect. I'll even let him give Little D 3 lifelines, prime time, no teleprompters, no notes, person, man, camera, TV, squirrel, elephant, giraffe. Let's see who passes. Governor GC, and then Donald Trump doesn't respond. Or I guess Trump responds by posting deranged images of like shooting drones going kaboom, kaboom. Or Donald Trump makes posts of the $6.9 million no bid contract he gave to his pool guy to paint the reflecting pool blue. And then Trump had his motorcade drive through the reflecting pool, which probably damaged the thing even more. I digress. Governor Newsom writes, Little D has not been seen by the press ever since I challenged him to a cognitive test on live television. Not good, Donald, Governor GCN. And then in response to Donald Trump saying, wow, do you know there's the word see like vision and then see like the water? Newsom writes, time for another cognitive test, Grandpa. Adult diapers are not covered, Grandpa. Governor Newsom announced a free diaper initiative to parents in California. And then he made it very clear to Donald Trump that that does not include adult diapers for Donald Trump. Governor Newsom then responds to Donald Trump's transportation secretary, Sean Duffy from the Real World Road Rules Challenge reality show, who recently bragged this week about spending the last 7 months going on a road trip across the United States with his wife, who's a Fox host who he met on Real World Road Rules Challenge in the 1990s. And Newsom points out, Duffy saying, we're at a good place, Americans. We know that consumer sentiment from the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Report fell to a fresh record low in May as surging gas prices hit the outlook This is 2 months in a row of the worst consumer sentiment in history since the beginning of the University of Michigan's consumer sentiment report dating back like over 50 years. So consumer sentiment right now is lower than the Great Recession, than the dot-com crash, than massive stock market crashes in the past. Consumer sentiment is at an all-time low. Month over month. Last month it was the worst. This month it's even lower. And yes, Newsom points out the whole world is laughing at Donald Trump's grift. You know, Trump's $1 million gold card, not only does it fail to catch on among the world's wealthy, only one gold card has actually been sold to date. One. And there's only been 165 applications that have submitted for the background screen, not got past the background screen, just put a $15,000 deposit down to eventually do a background screen. I should also note there's litigation over the gold card because it violates, I don't know, every law. You can't just make up a gold card and violate other visa processes where Congress passed, I don't know, a little something called laws. And in that federal cases, the Trump regime was forced to admit that the gold card is a scam and it doesn't expedite anything. There's no reason why you would do that over the other visas that are there for, like Einstein visas or other visas that you pay for and corporations pay for. If you're like, well, why would the Trump regime admit that? Because if they didn't admit that, they'd be violating the law by creating a process that's better than the existing visa structure that was approved by Congress. In any event, Newsom also points out that in response to an article how Nintendo hikes Switch 2 prices and expects console sales to decline as memory crunch bites. Yes, Newsom writes, Trump hates gamers and democracy. The White House posted this bizarre photo of Donald Trump and it says, select all images with a patriot. Newsom responds, there's another P word that comes to mind to describe him. Then our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, posted the video of Trump's motorcade driving around inside the reflecting pool. Newsom then writes, Trump is busy doing important things, raising your gas prices and driving on the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. I'm going to do another video on this, but one of the issues from the reflecting pool is that it attracts a lot of algae. It's in DC, a swamp. In the summer, it's very hot and there's lots of cracks because it's really big, the pool, and it causes leaks. You don't fix it by painting the thing a different color blue. If you want to fix it, you have to fix the actual issues of the algae and the cracks. Driving over it with a motorcade, yeah, that's going to exacerbate the problems. Talking about exacerbating problems, Donald Trump also pressured his FDA to immediately make available flavored vapes because nothing says MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, like glyphosate herbicides everywhere, as well as flavored vapes to attract children. Great one, MAHA movement. You got your guy in Donald Trump. I mean, come on. Donald Trump pressured the FDA chair to make these two flavored vape flavors available everywhere. Yep, the FDA just approved colorful fruit flavored vapes, right? When he's not busy cutting off penises from dead animals and raccoons and sleeping with it, RFK Jr. is busy being a total MAHA fraud. Yes, RFK Jr. cuts off raccoon penises and sleeps with it and brags about it, and also like brings dead bears into Central Park. What is up with this Trump regime? This is not normal behavior, folks. Also, Newsom writes, not only is the Trump ballroom a scam, it's poisoning the ground in DC. Talking about Maha Sicko, we now know that soil at the DC golf course where East Wing debris was dumped contains toxic metals. Fantastic, Donald. You now are going to further spread carcinogens across the world. Newsom also, across the country and the world. Newsom also posts, I turned on the television tonight and Sean Hannity, awful ratings, was ranting for almost the entire episode about President Barack Obama, incredible president, like it was 2010 still. Frankly, it was sad to watch. Slumpy Sean is like the guy who peaked in high school, desperately trying to recreate his senior year. Meanwhile, Obama is thriving, building his beautiful library, saving lives with Obamacare, hanging with Springsteen and living his best life with his amazing wife. While Slumpy Sean yells at the wall, Sean, the 2010s are over. Move on. It's 2026, and we now have America's first orange president roaming around the retirement home, starting wars on Twitter at 3 a.m. Very sad to see Slumpy go like this. He has officially lost the touch. Bad TV. Thank you for your attention to this very important matter. Governor GCN, also in response to Donald Trump losing the latest tariff case where Donald Trump tried to impose Section 122 tariffs after losing the IEEPA tariffs, further causing inflation to surge. Newsom writes, Trump continues to be America's biggest loser. He also writes, Trump, Miller, and Ron DeSantis's horrid prison camp in the middle of the swamp, Alligator Alcatraz, is now closing after less than a year. Their mass deportation agenda is cruel and reckless and a staggering misuse of taxpayer dollars, all to reward human suffering and hurt our economy while avoiding transparency and accountability to the American people. How much taxpayer money was spent on this waste, fraud, and abuse? Then in response to Sean Duffy saying $4.55 a gallon, we're in a good place right now. That's the Trump transportation secretary. Newsom says, real world Sean thinks Americans paying 50% more for gas means people are in a good place. What? Also, Newsom points out that the ballroom is now going to cost taxpayers $1 billion. It's in the latest Republican reconciliation bill. Newsom writes, why has the ballroom cost gone up 5 times? Why is the ballroom now publicly funded? And yes, national gas prices just hit the highest level since 2022. Americans are paying $1.56 more for gas at the pump since the start of Trump's reckless war with Iran. No plan, no exit strategy, and Americans are paying the price every single day. Then Newsom posts this photo of Donald Trump holding up a Strait of Hormuz image, and it's Trump saying, I raise gas by 50%. Yes, you did. Also, Trump says high gas prices are worth it. Worth it if you're an oil company executive or a billionaire, not so much if you're a teacher, nurse, welder, electrician, construction worker, roofer, cattle rancher, farm worker, or any other position. Meanwhile, Newsom is laying out the facts of California. #1 in job creation, #1 in school investments, #1 in public health, #1 in U.S. economy, #1 economic growth in developed world, #1 social mobility, #1 in Fortune 500 companies, #1 in wages for entry-level workers, #1 hunting, #1 tech, #1 R&D, #1 business startups, #1 ending veteran homelessness, #1 AI, #1 clean energy, #1 tourism, #1 higher education, #1 in volunteering, entertainment, venture capital, startups, infrastructure investments, aerospace, and skilled jobs. There you have it. And he's giving out free diapers now. Newsom announced a first-in-the-nation program to bring free diapers to new parents. It's part of California's broader agenda to support families, invest in children from the very beginning, focus on affordability, and no, Donald, no adult diapers, Newsom wants to point out as well. There you have it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe. Help us get to 7 million subscribers. Let's get there together. 7 million. Let's do it. Thanks, everybody.